Hey, I'm Kristi Mitchell, and welcome to Unfudge Your Marketing, the podcast where we talk about what really happens when marketing doesn't go according to plan. Every week, I sit down with business owners and leaders to unpack the missteps, the experiments that didn't land, and the decisions they'd probably rethink if given a do-over. But more importantly, we talk about what they learned on the other side and what you can take with you as you build your own business. Success rarely comes from getting it right the first time. It comes from taking action, making mistakes, adjusting, and showing up again and again. If you've ever wondered whether you're the only one figuring this out as you go, you're in the right place. Hello. I am so excited for my conversation today with Sara Torpey. Sara is the creator of the Uncomplicating Business Lab and Selling for Weirdos. You can tell why I'm really excited for this conversation. We share the whole uncomplicating theme. She's a business coach for people who love to serve, but tend to make the combo that is helping people and selling more complicated than it needs to be through practical tools, simple practices, and a dash of joyful weirdness. She's a forever teacher, a mom of travel sport kids, and kind of a weirdo in a good way herself. With that, I will welcome Sara to the show.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here and see you and all of the things. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. And thank you to Toby Miles for introducing us.
I know, she's the very best. If you're not in Toby's world, today's the day.
Yes. Yeah, definitely go check Toby out. Go to her website, find her on LinkedIn, check out her podcast, her origin story. You were on, right?
Yeah, I've done that with her.
Yes.
That was so fun.
Yes.
She's so fun.
I know. She's like, it's really one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. The women she brings on are so fascinating. So I feel like I listened to your episode with her and then she was like, you need to meet, or it happened the other way. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know which way it happened, but it was like they were timed in the neighborhood.
Yes. And we share a lot of values and alignment and all of those good things. So I'm super excited for this conversation today.
Yay.
So Sara, when we talk about having you come on the show and you filled out your form, so I get the info that I need. I don't normally do this, but I really want to read the very first sentence that you included on there, which was, I think my whole first business was one giant marketing mistake. So first of all, I love your transparency and your willingness to just put it all out there. And I'm really excited to dive into this conversation. So tell us, kind of take us back, like what was the first business?
Yep.
And what kind of happened with that?
So my coaching practice is my second business. The first business still exists. It's called Extensions. It's in the product space for its math, critical thinking, problem solving tools for homeschool families. Teachers use them. It still exists. And we did everything we possibly could do wrong. So when clients come to me with new businesses now and they're like, I need a website, I'm like, you're fun. Let me tell you about all the ways I've done this before. And so what we did was have a good idea and spend a year building it and not talk to anybody about anything. And then we were kind of mystified when we decided to put it out in the world and people were like, nobody knew who it was. We didn't know how to explain it. It was really pretty and very expensive. And we had no idea how to get it in front of people. And when we did, we got it in front of the wrong people. Like people would I'd go to networking meetings, like the official ones, and they'd be like, huh, weird. I would just stare at me like I had 9 heads. And, we posted about it, but not in a way that explained anything. Oh dear God. We tried to give it away for free, but to strangers on the internet. You name the thing, we did it wrong. Eventually we started going to homeschool family conferences and started to figure it out. Right. Mm-hmm. And changed the platforms we were on. Because it was Facebook, Instagram. And it was that's not right. Eventually we realized it was Pinterest. And I stopped everything else. And like, because the teachers are on Pinterest, the people looking for that kind of thing are on Pinterest. And now it exists on Teachers Pay Teachers and on through Pinterest, and that's what it does, right? But it was very expensive to, to do it the way we did it, and really defeating, because like, it is stuff we really think hard about and built. It's with my partner, and we worked really hard, and then it was like, done nothing, because we just didn't understand what to do, and we didn't understand the relationship piece, and we didn't understand, I don't know, basically marketing on any level. We sent emails, but to like our friends, like we did it all wrong. All of it.
So if there's so many like directions we could take with this. I want to like dive into all of the things.
My God.
But here's what I want to ask you to help like bubble one thing to the surface here, to dig in a little deeper. If you could go back and do it all over again, what's like the first thing you would have done differently?
I actually, because I did all of that that way in my coaching practice, I did get to do it all over again. Right. And the thing I did differently that really changed everything was, like, I have a friend that makes fun of me. She says it's my 4-word business model. It's talk to more people. Like, that's it. Like, all the people. It's like, people first. Go talk to human beings. Say the words out of your face instead of in your brain. Don't write them down anymore. Use your mouth and speak and watch people's reactions, and like, actually go have human conversations. And some of them will be hella awkward. And some of them you'll be like, oh God, I don't think they understood me. And some of them you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what the problem is. But I think for me, in that first business, we just didn't talk to anyone, let alone enough people. We didn't get any real feedback.
Yes.
And when we got feedback, it was from the wrong people. But we didn't talk to enough people to meet the right people. And we didn't talk to enough people, and not that there are right people necessarily, but we didn't talk to people who understood what we were doing at all. Right. It just took us so long to connect to those people. And I think it would have been faster and more efficient and way simpler if we had just focused on people first and let sort of the nature of people connecting you to their people take us to the people, right? Who it would be for. But we didn't do any of that because we didn't know any better. So the second time around, I was like, hold, please, let me rethink this.
Yes.
Like, what would I do differently? And that's been the joy of this business, because all of those things that I've been like, oh, I get to do differently now. And they're like, oh, but when I do them, I'm like, I'm not going to do that again. That was dumb.
Yes. So when you talk about getting out there to talk to people, just that notion, first of all, I want to point out something you said, because I've had a couple other guests on this show where we talk about this idea that like we wait to market the thing until we're really ready to sell it, which is like a big problem in the mindset between like sales and marketing. People confuse the two. I think they're like, oh, I just need to like finish building this thing and put the nice shiny bow on it, and then we'll talk about it. And there's so many problems in that. Yeah, you're shaking your head because like you're not getting any feedback in real time about like, who is this for? Is it meeting the need? Are we talking about it in the right way? Those sorts of things. So I definitely want to, point that out. And I'm curious, were you finding that I'm definitely hearing, right, like that was an issue. You didn't talk to enough people to get that feedback in real time before you're kind of ready to launch. Did you also try and like talk to everybody and you just weren't as focused as maybe you needed to be, or not necessarily?
I don't know that we understood what that meant. Right? Like when somebody said like, who are your ideal people? We were like, well, they could be. And this is something people say to me all the time. Well, it could be any of these 4 people.
Yes.
And that is like trying to stand in a room and have 4 conversations at the same time. And that's so hard. but you could start a conversation with one person, and as the new people join the room, you could bring them into your conversation. Like that's a very different, like, but it's real awkward. Think of yourself. I always think about this. Like, think of yourself in the aisle of a grocery store. You meet a friend and they come say hello and you start talking. And then another friend comes from this direction and you keep talking to this one, but then start talking separately to that one. And then somebody else comes from the other direction. So you keep talking to this one, you start talking separately to that one. These other people think you're a lunatic, like, quite honestly. And it's really hard to keep track of what you're saying to each person. And it's awkward as hell. And so you could just be like, friend, meet friend, meet friend, meet friend. Let's all have one conversation. Because generally it's about like how much your children eat while you're in the grocery store. I have a 12-year-old boy, and that just is. But it's like we did try to talk to everyone. We had like, it wasn't necessarily everyone but we tried to convince people they needed it and wanted it, right? We tried to talk to the people who it wasn't for, because we wanted to feel like, and as a teacher, as a former teacher, like what you learn in teaching is everybody has to come with you. And that's not business. But I didn't understand that distinction yet.
That's big. That's really big.
Yes, that one is so nice in business. Let me tell you. I embrace that sucker. Like the people who don't want it, that's great. In 8th grade math, that's a problem. But in business, it's spectacular. Like you can't have 13-year-olds be like, nope, thanks, I'm out. Like that doesn't work as a teacher. Like you can't just be like, all right, Jim isn't going to learn this year. He doesn't not interested. That's not cool. But like in a business, to have Jim be like, no, I don't get it. And you're like, cool, Jim, I don't need you. Like that's magical. But we did not understand that yet. We were like, right, you don't get it. Let me explain it to you 6 different ways.
That makes a lot of sense. And like you're saying, you were trying to convince people because of that mentality. They're like, well, everybody needs it. We got to bring everybody along. We got to, and then really coming to that realization, like, okay, not everybody needs it. And part of the upside to getting clear on who actually needs it and who doesn't is that then it improves your messaging. So then you can really connect with those ideal people who are like, oh my God, I love that. I need that.
Yes. Well, it's about like, I think about it now as like talking to your fans rather than talking to the people who are your, what are they, trolls? Like, I think what happens is sometimes people want to convince the trolls because they want everybody on board. And so like they talk, we did it, I've done it. You talk to the people who are like your hard nose because you feel like that's can't be possible. Instead of talking to the people that are already like hanging on every word.
Yes.
And in business, you only need those people. The trolls are like off doing other things. Like, I don't care about the trolls. And that's so hard.
Yeah. I have to share this quote that is just like, it keeps coming up in my head as you're talking. So I had this good business friend who has unfortunately since passed away a couple of years ago, but he was a big reader and podcaster. And he told me about this book, and the subtitle of it was, and the subtitle is like the quote that I had written on my old office window, like for the longest time, but it's still ingrained in my head. And the quote is, do what you love in service of those who love what you do.
Yes.
Do what you love in service of those who love what you do, which is this point that like, if they don't love what we're doing, then we're not for them. And that's okay.
But the part of that you just said, and that's okay, is really hard to wrap your head around, because some of the people that didn't get it were family or friends or people we loved, right? And it is really hard to have people you love just not get it and have it not be for them. But like, that's fine. It's just like a hard thing to wrap your head around on some level. Yeah. That like you do something and it's not only not for everybody, but it's not even for everybody you love.
Yes.
And that's tricky. But what'll happen over time, if you keep talking to the people, is you'll find more people that love it and you can love them. It'll be great.
Yes.
And you don't have to you don't have to disown your family, but they don't need to be your validation point.
Yes. Yes. I love that you use the word validation point, because that's what I was thinking in a different way. But like, that's got to be tough. And I always, whenever I read anything about that anyone writes about related to like family and friends not being supportive of their business, I'm like, oh my God, I can't even imagine. Like, I'm really fortunate. I haven't experienced that. I've only had my cheerleader, like my family and friends have all just been cheerleaders, or if they're not, they keep it to themselves, which thankfully. But that's got to be so incredibly hard to have the people closest to you be like, what are you doing here? Like, I don't think that's a good business model. And to have the conviction within you to say, I'm moving forward anyway.
Yep.
This isn't for you. It's for other people. And I know that it serves a need, and I know that it's going to help people.
Well, and to be able to manage the like internal loop that creates, like to keep yourself grounded even with feedback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And stay connected to your expertise and your power and your value, and see that it's being validated in other ways, even if this person isn't going to validate it for you.
Yes.
And that's tricky, right? But it is, but it is also like, isn't the hardest part of, or at least one of the hardest parts for newer business for me, and I talk to people in coaching all the time about this, is until you're talking to more people, you're not getting feedback necessarily. And you're like looking under rocks for validation.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking so hard for validation that the validation that's coming from the people who are starting to become fans, you're looking for it so hard you miss it. Like, you don't see when somebody's like, oh God, I love this. You're like, yeah. But Joe didn't tell me he loved it, so it doesn't work yet. Right? And you're like,
you latch on to that.
Like, right? Where you miss the subtle validations. You miss the good things, and you sort of just bypass them because you're like, well, but I am not at a billboard yet. You're like, okay. Like, what does that have to do with anything? So it's interesting that way. It's like finding it's coming. It's just not often coming from the place you thought it was.
Yes. Yeah. And as with all things in marketing, right, being patient and persistent and consistent in your execution, like all of those things. But
I love how C words, but not the P words, but thank you.
I love, though, that this all just keeps coming back to what you said, is talk to more people.
But like, and I have now been in business almost 10 years. And I was a teacher for a long time, and I worked in sales in between there. And I think at some point I realized, like, here's the thing. If you're running a business, what you're doing on the most basic level is selling something to people, right? Like, that's at the very most basic level. And you can't expect to sell something to people without talking to people. And I think sometimes we do. Mm-hmm. We forget that like a human is buying from us. That's what I learned in the first business, that it was like people buying from us. I forgot that it was people, right? Yeah. Individual human beings. And so I think it is that connecting to individual human beings that makes such a difference, because it is actually people buying from you. Mm-hmm. It's not like the people, and it is not the internet. Mm-hmm. It's people, like individual humans. And so coming back to people every time, like when I feel out of sync in my business, one of the very first questions I ask is like, am I connecting? Mm-hmm. Do I feel connected? Am I talking to new people? Because oftentimes when I am out of sync, that's what's missing. And I'm like, oh, I got to go back to talking to people. Whoops.
Yeah. Well, and like we're talking about in this conversation, it's like talking to people helps you get feedback, which can then help you with your messaging or positioning or even the features of what you're selling, right? Getting that feedback from people. And it helps you get more clear on who is this for, who is it not for. And it helps you build this audience of people who are engaged with what you have to say and they care about it because they love what you do and they support it. And that's like the start of building the whole marketing ecosystem, right?
That is the marketing ecosystem. Well, and it is like, and then when you go to have, I was just talking to a client the other day who is mad at me right now because here's another thing in marketing that I didn't realize right away because I'm a teacher, but I had to learn the hard way. The workshop or the webinar is not the end point. It's like the middle or the beginning of the marketing. And that was like a hard lesson for me. And she is learning it right now. And she keeps going, the workshop is not it. The workshop is the middle. Shit. Like, and like is frustrated, but it is, you know, it is part of like when you think about that workshop you want to do, having the marketing ecosystem because you've been talking to all the people, then lets that workshop succeed because you know people and people know you and they want to come to your stuff, or you can share it and they can share it with their people. And then the people come and then you have tools to use to talk to those people because you've been building that ecosystem. So when you go to do that workshop, it actually works because you've been talking to human beings and you have connection. And it doesn't work if you're just like, I'm doing a workshop. Because those are the things, like when you don't have that human interaction, those things that you're trying to draw people to are so hard if you don't start with people. And then people get really frustrated and their confidence takes a hit and all of those things because they're like, why isn't it working? Like, well, who are you connecting with? And they're like, what do you mean? Uh-oh.
The really funny part about this is not too long ago, I had Ron Klinger on the show, and his marketing mistake that he talked about was that he was promoting this workshop and he promoted it to people who had already had familiarity with him. He had an audience built up, but he was sending out emails and just relying on the stats of the emails and the fact that these people already knew him. And he thought, oh, this is going to be super successful. And it wasn't, because he wasn't actually talking to people. He realized like the format wasn't right. The timing wasn't right. Like all these things that ended up making this workshop totally flop for him. And I just have that in my head because it's like, oh, if he had actually been like having conversations with people and getting that feedback, it would have been so much more successful.
Yes. Well, and the best, or at least for me, the most fun workshop things I've done come out of like, I've been having conversations with people. And I hear this thing over and over and over again. And now we're going to play a game. Like I tend to games, like in July, we're playing bingo. Like we're playing bingo because why not? Yes, we're doing 4 days of bingo and it's like implementation bingo. And what's better than that? But it is all because of the conversations I've been having lately with people over the last couple of months, which are like, everything's good. I'm getting the big things done. And the little stuff is just like, or the core things, I have 5 things to do and I do one of them and 16 other things that weren't on the list. Right? It's like when you go to the grocery store and you buy everything but what you needed because you were hungry. And so we're going to play this bingo where it's like the core things, right? That are in these categories. And it's like, okay, well, let's do the core things. And if you want to use this bingo card again next week, go with God. But they're like small things. It's like less than, it's a little bit of time every day to do these small things. And it is, but that comes out of conversation. Right? The format comes out of conversation. It comes out of experience with the people that I've been working with, because I know if we play a game, they'll actually do it. Like people like prizes. Like that comes out of my teaching experience. Like there are going to be gift cards, kids. And people are like, I love a gift card, even if it's $5. People are like, yes, I want a pen. Like that's fine. And so, but that is a tricky thing because you're like, I'm going to make this format. I'm going to do all these things. And people are like, well, that's a holiday. Like, oh.
Oops.
Right. And you do the oops, but then it kills your confidence and it makes it seem like you don't belong or people don't want what you need, when in fact it was like 1,000 other reasons.
Yeah.
And that's so frustrating.
I love this kind of last point that we're touching on, though, is like not just talking to people to get feedback initially and like, pressure test things and get more clear on your messaging, but also new ideas can come from talking to people when you have a pulse of like what's going on and what's challenging for them and what lights them up, what gets them excited to commit to something. It might be a $5 gift card. So I love that. I knew that this conversation was going to be a great one. I had no idea kind of which way I was going to go, just because you're like, well, we messed up all of the marketing things.
I've done everything wrong.
I love that we are focusing on talking to people, because marketing is just relationship building. That's all that it is.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Well, in like
simple.
What is fascinating to me over time, and I know we're sort of wrapping up, is like that it doesn't matter it does matter. And I have the ways I want to do things, but it doesn't matter as long as I'm talking to people. Right? Like it does and it doesn't, right? But if the thing I drop is the talking to people, everything else gets harder. But if I'm talking to people, what I do next doesn't really matter which thing I choose, because they all work.
Ooh.
Right? It's the conversations that allow the rest of it to work versus it working and then getting the conversations. Like the conversations is the thing that like grease the wheels, I think.
Yeah. So I'm curious, Sara, as we wrap up this conversation, I always ask, is there one last piece of advice you want to leave? Is that it? Or you have something else you want to add?
Well, I think it would be more directly than that, which is like, you won't die if you go to LinkedIn or your favorite platform today and you send 3 people that you'd love to connect with a message and say, hey, I'd love to know you. And can we talk? Like I was just having a conversation on LinkedIn the other day with somebody, and he was talking about outreach. And I said, and starting conversations with people. And I said, I tend to lead with like, hey, I would love to know you as an actual human, because that is the truth of it. And people are always like, oh, okay. But it's not like, here's this thing I want you to buy from me. It's like, hi, I think you're doing cool things. I would like to know you. And because I'm super nosy, but it's like, go look at LinkedIn and pick 2 or 3 people that you've been like, oh, she's so cool, right? Like she does cool stuff, and send a message and be like, I would love to be connected. And if you're game to have a conversation, I think that would be fun. It's it. You're done. That's the work. And then like have a conversation and be a human. That's it.
Love it. I love how actionable your advice is. That's so good. So everyone can do that.
Yes. And I promise you'll be like super uncomfortable. And what you can do is send your 2 messages, close your computers, and run away. Like do what you got to do. Sometimes I have to do that. And also you still should do it.
I love it. Sara, you have given us so much to think about today. You've shared so many great insights and lessons learned. I want to give you the opportunity. How can people learn more about the work that you do, connect with you? I'm guessing LinkedIn is one of those.
Yep. LinkedIn. My website is torpeycoaching.com. I run something called the Uncomplicating Business Lab, which is where we actually implement all this stuff, which is super fun. It's where Selling for Weirdos lives. If you're a person that doesn't like sales and feels really weird about it, it's a course for you, like literally. And I don't know when this airs, but the bingo challenge starts the 6th of July.
Yes, this will be airing later than that.
Yeah. So, but like that will exist. And if you are somebody that if this is later than that and you're like, I want the bingo sheet, send me a LinkedIn message. Like I'm a human and I like to talk to people. You could send a message and say, let's be friends. And I want your bingo card. Like I would be happy to give you the bingo card and give you homework. Like that's easy. I have a
teacher in you. I would be happy to give you.
It's called License to Give Homework. But only fun homework and useful homework, like reaching out to people. So you should really do that.
Yes. Awesome. All right, cool. Well, thank you again so much for taking the time to come on the show and share your experience. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I love talking to you. I think you're the very best.
Oh, you're so sweet. All right, everybody.